So these are the Ballon d'Or tiers, my Ballon d'Or tiers, and I put them in 4 different categories. We're going to go from bottom all the way to top. Long shot. I don't need to explain myself. You guys know what that means. Okay. It means that, okay, maybe there's just a pinch of a chance, but probably not going to be likely, especially after the World Cup. Risky play, okay, might be an outsider shot, maybe your wild card. Smart money, wait till you see some of the smart money moves I'm going to put, and all in. These are the players I'm going all in for. So long shot, look, Bruno Fernandes, Premier League Player of the Season, long shot. There's a long shot that Portuguese fans are going to be really angry at him if he ever puts up a display that he put up at the next World Cup. Vitinha, there's something about Portuguese players at this World Cup, James. Am I crazy for this? Best midfielder look like it in the world after the Champions League final.
But everything's being built around a 41-year-old. These guys, I feel like, are being handcuffed by the situation.
Yeah.
So that's what I would add to the
Okay, but am I a long shot in there, or do you think that's a risky play?
Definitely long shots.
Okay,
Phil, do you like
fabulous
that?
players.
Yeah.
Absolutely as well, and I think later on in the show I may or may not be laying into Vitinha personally as well. So yeah, massively disappointed by both of their performances in the World Cup. So I would put them as long, very, very long shots. Yeah.
Okay, and look, another long shot for me. And this is going to be where the controversy hits. And Phil, this is directed at you. I know that Lamine Yamal is one of the most talented players on planet Earth. But if we're going by what I saw at this World Cup, I'm not even going to put Lamine Yamal in smart money. I'm not even going to put him in risky play. I think Lamine Yamal is a long shot to win the Ballon d'Or. This is not a marketing award, remember?
You've lost
or
your
is
mind.
it? For me personally, I'm not buying the Lamine Yamal hype for the Ballon d'Or, Phil.
Are you sure, Mike?
Yeah.
Have you slept? I'm the one that hasn't slept.
He's actually he's at the parade with you, Phil. He was drinking all night with this selection.
I could not disagree more. I think Lamine Yamal is one of the favourites for the Ballon d'Or. Yes, he didn't take the World Cup by storm in the way that we expected him to by doing these brilliant, stunning, attacking plays constantly. But I thought he was mature. I thought he worked for the team. I thought he defended pretty well, something we've not seen from him before. I thought he was absolutely extraordinary for Barcelona for large swathes of the season. And I think he's got a much, much better chance than what you're giving. Same as Bruno Fernandes. Lamine Yamal the same chance as the Ballon d'Or as Bruno Fernandes. I fundamentally disagree with you, Michael.
Lamine Yamal is second favourite in the odds list as well.
Second favourite in the odds list.
I just want to ask you a quick question, Lahoud. What kind of weight are you putting the World Cup on these Ballon d'Ors? Because you have to also think about them in their club season as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at both the club and the World Cup performances. Club season, La Liga season, Champions League season as well. Look, he won the World Cup, but we were talking about performances. This was supposed to be Lamine Yamal at his vintage best. So if I had to go somewhere, just to put a cap on it, where would you guys put Lamine Yamal?
All in.
I'd say smart money.
Smart money? Smart money. There could be a conversation about all in. I'm going to go Ousmane Dembélé to round out long shot. Ousmane Dembélé, the reigning Ballon d'Or holder. It might be a bit heavy,
enough games.
But is there an argument for either of you that he could be risky play?
Yeah, he could be risky play. Obviously, he's the reigning champion of the Ballon d'Or, right? He won it last year. Only played 22 games in Ligue 1. Is that enough of a sample size? Helped them win PSG, win Champions League again. Had 6 goals in this World Cup. Had a hat-trick in a game against a Norway team that was the second string, if you want to take all that into consideration. But still, hell of a player, and scored in the third place game as well. I just don't think he did enough to merit real consideration for this award.
Yeah, I'm going to argue as well that in that match against Spain, I think you saw the vintage version of Ousmane Dembélé, which is not a good thing, right? It's not Ousmane Ballon d'Or. Erling Haaland, risky play. Risky play for me. I don't think smart money, because the 6 goals for Norway, I thought he was lethal up until the match against England. But if you put together the Premier League season that he had, this was one of his poorest seasons that we've seen. Although he scored a ton of goals for Manchester City, I just didn't think he looked like the Erling Haaland that we've seen before. Now, Phil, before I get to this next player, where would you put Rodri? Because Rodri, for me, you take club season, not the Rodri because of injuries, but at this World Cup, you could argue he was Spain's most important player. I'm going to put risky play, But there's an argument that he could go all in or anywhere other. So I'm just talk me off my ledge because I haven't had my meds.
Yeah, clearly.
I think, just conceptually, what is the Ballon d'Or? I think it has become the player who has had the biggest impact on a team that has been very successful in the last year. So Rodri has had a massive impact on the Spain team that won the World Cup, but obviously his Manchester City form was way off Ballon d'Or form, and also first three, like the group stage, he wasn't brilliant at the World Cup either. Like he genuinely wasn't particularly good in the first 3 games for Spain. There were people calling for him to potentially be dropped for Martin Zubimendi. So it's the knockout stage is what he's done, but that is the biggest stage of all. He has stepped up and absolutely dominated. So I would put him a little bit higher than risky play. I would say maybe smart money.
Okay, I'm convinced. My medicine's kicking in. Medicine's kicking in right here.
Lahoud's getting after it this morning.
Michael Olise, he was one of my favorite players this past season, especially with his performances for Bayern Munich. And also, he's now the single most assist getter at a World Cup, beats Pele's record with that 3rd place match, which looked like an NBA All-Star game, if we're really being honest. Now, Michael Olise, I want to say smart money if you put club season and also the World Cup. But after this World Cup, I'm kind of leaning towards risky play, fellas.
I like smart money. I mean, to Phil's point, and this, just so everybody knows at home, it starts August 1st of 2025 to July 2026 after the World Cup. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're evaluating. Winning trophies, I think, matters. Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga. They won the DFB Pokal. They won the German Super Cup. So they won the domestic treble. He's a semifinalist in the World Cup. He leads the tournament in assists. For me, that's definitely a little bit more than risky play. I think smart money feels better given what he accomplished from the start of when this is evaluated to the end.
Okay, so Phil, coming to you on this one, I'm torn with Jude Bellingham. I don't even want to put myself out there because if you were upset about Lamine Yamal, well, I don't want you to come through the screen and do something to me. So for Jude Bellingham, I was really impressed with the Jude Bellingham we saw for England. England's all-time leading goal scorer at a World Cup, 7 goals, insane. If we were going World Cup only, he goes in smart money. If we were going for La Liga, which you get to cover his games, then, I mean, risky play at best. So I want to put him at smart money, but my heart says risky play. So you tell me, Phil.
Totally agree. Risky play at best. Even long shot, because the World Cup and some decent, very, very decent performances, like really impressive leadership from Jude Bellingham and stunning individual play, really brilliant goals as well. He did amazingly well, but England didn't win, and also his form for Real Madrid this season was way off. Real Madrid fans were looking at him playing for England. It's like, okay, this was the Jude from the first season at Real Madrid. We haven't seen him the last couple of seasons be like this. So if we're talking, as Jimmy specified, the dates that we're talking about, he can't be considered in the running for the Ballon d'Or for a month of those 12 months. Like it just doesn't work like that. So if we're being generous, and we are sort of a generous bunch on this show, I'm sure, let's put him at risky play. But for me, I mean, I'd have him as a long shot.
Okay, look, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, outstanding for PSG, but he didn't play in a World Cup. And if you're going to put weight on both, I'm going to go risky play.
Yeah, very, very quick about Kvara. Just like Erling Haaland in 2023, when Messi won the World Cup, he ended up pipping Erling Haaland to that Ballon d'Or. When if Messi hadn't won the World Cup, I think Erling Haaland wins it.
Okay, and now,
but because Norway didn't play in the World Cup, I think that's out.
Yeah, with Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, look, next year we don't have a World Cup, do we? Do you think he could be a dark horse if PSG were to go and get a 3-peat?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good question.
Absolutely. I think I've said this before. I think Khvicha Kvaratskhelia is becoming what Ousmane Dembélé was when they won the Champions League. He is, outside of Vitinha, in the final third, he's their most important player. He's their most decisive player. Dembélé gets the headlines, maybe because he's the reigning Ballon d'Or holder. But when you actually watch football matches for PSG, Champions League final, it's not going their way. Vitinha ups his level, but it's Kvaratskhelia that earns the penalty kick and leads PSG to triumph. Now, this is the big 3. Lamine Yamal will make the big 4, because Phil, thank you. You are right. I am out of my mind for putting Lamine Yamal long shot.
Thank you for
Lionel Messi.
Yeah, he's in.
All in. All in. There's no argument for that. Kylian Mbappé. This is the one for you, Phil. I'm all in on when you're the all-time leading goal scorer at a World Cup. You score 10 goals, which hadn't been done before since Gerd Muller and Pichichi, Champions League, World Cup. You lead the goals, but
no trophies.
Am I thinking that Madrid fans and maybe you are buying the smoke just off of one tournament?
Listen, it's the Kylian Mbappé paradox. Like, we've seen it for the last couple of seasons at Real Madrid. He has absolutely smashed in the goals and won 0 major trophies with Real Madrid. So he will say, I can't do anything more. This is my job. I'm here to score goals. I've scored all of the goals. I've scored them. And we've still not been able to win. I've done my job, guys. You know, everybody else needs to chip in. But if it sort of consistently happens, it's happened 2 seasons at Real Madrid now, happened with France as well. I think maybe that will impede him from actually winning it. But listen, in these tiers, let's put him as one of the favourites, and then let's put him as all in. But it's definitely a curious paradox that has happened over the last couple of seasons. So many goals, so little trophies.
Yeah, so many goals for Kylian Mbappé, but isn't the Ballon d'Or an individual award? Should we be looking at individual performances? And look, his
we're looking
job
at individuals
is to score
that
goals.
win trophies. Trophies have to factor into this.
Yeah, speaking of trophies, you can't say this guy isn't going to win trophies anymore. Ever since he's left Tottenham Hotspur, Harry Kane is finally getting the respect he deserves. And I think that Tottenham fans are saying, we've been telling you that Harry Kane is the main man. And look, it didn't work out for the 3 Lions, but England wouldn't have gotten to the heights they got to, Phil and Jimmy, in the group stages had it not been for Harry Kane. So 73 goals is insane. You look at the odds right there. Harry Kane, the favorite to win the Ballon d'Or right now by the odds makers. But I feel good about mine. I know some of our viewers coming in with the live comments thinking, Kvaratskhelia, risky play? You're crazy, man. But I've been called worse.
Yeah. Sorry, Jimmy, I just want to get to it. We have got one comment coming up because we are live on YouTube today. Not putting Fabian Ruiz on this list is disrespectful. Do you think he deserves to be in the conversation?
He does. Listen, every game that he's played for Spain, they have never lost. That is incredible. And he's played 50 games. It's not like 3 games. It's 50 games. Plus, he's a back-to-back Champions League winner with PSG. The teams are better when he's on the field. And that's the highest respect I can pay him.
Yeah, I'm curious, Phil. I'm going to throw this question to you. How good is Fabian Ruiz? Because everything he touches, to Jimmy's point, turns into gold. And this Spanish midfield really transformed when he came in. We had this discussion on Scoreline and Match Night about, you were saying that, okay, Pedri isn't working in this group stage, and it's, at some point you need to shake things up. And you were the one that said, I wouldn't be surprised if Fabian Ruiz came in.
I mean, he's so good that Spain didn't miss Pedri at all. You know, everybody was saying if Spain are going to win this tournament, they need Lamine Yamal at his best and Pedri at his best, and neither of them were necessarily at their fully best, and Spain won. And, you know, Fabian Ruiz was fantastic. He enabled Rodri, I think, as well, to have a little bit more freedom in midfield. And he's I mean, I didn't want to say anything, guys, but he was the glaring omission, I think, from my perspective in your tiers, Mike, because obviously European champion, world champion as well. When you win those 2 big trophies, I think you've got to be in the conversation. But who has been the best footballer, consistently the best footballer over the last, forget about who's won what trophies, who has played football consistently the best at the highest level over the last 12 months? And for me, it's Harry Kane.